Hey guys, welcome to Gunology, a YouTube channel dedicated to increasing the gun knowledge of new gun owners and firearm enthusiasts alike. Before we begin this video, I'm going to start off by saying I'm not a lawyer, I'm not providing legal advice, nor am I qualified to. Today we're going to talk about the process of buying a rifle, shotgun, or pistol, and a few of the gun laws that go along with that process. If you buy a gun from a range, hunting goods store, or even online, you'll be dealing with a federally licensed firearm official at some point during that process. Federally licensed firearm officials have a license from the ATF to deal in firearms. Federally licensed firearm officials are more commonly known as FFLs. The only way to buy a gun without dealing with an FFL is through private sales, which we are not going to cover during this video. When using examples in this video, we're going to assume that you are dealing with an FFL. We're going to look at a couple of the federal laws that will directly affect us when it comes to purchasing firearms to start off. The first of these federal laws is the Gun Control Act of 1968. This legislation set up the FFL system and imposed minimum age requirements for buying weapons on a federal level. If you're under 18, you are ineligible to buy a firearm, and if you're under 21, you are ineligible to buy a handgun. The second federal law is the National Firearms Act of 1943, which restricts civilians from owning fully automatic weapons, short-barrel shotguns, and hand grenades. Pretty much anything deemed extremely destructive or unnecessary for hunting or self-defense. Most regulation of gun sales happen at the state level, with some even happening in the municipality level. Most of these laws involve requiring a permit to purchase a rifle or a handgun that may involve having a separate background check with an added fee, or may even require a firearm safety course with an exam. This is what can make gun laws so complex, and why it's always a good idea to read up on your local laws before going to purchase a gun. So, let's look at an ideal scenario when it comes to buying a rifle or a shotgun. You've done your research, and you've drove down to the local range or local sporting goods store to buy your gun. You've picked out your new firearm, and the first thing the dealer asks you for is your ID. Federal law requires you to present one form of ID when buying a rifle or shotgun. Driver's license and passports also work very well for this. If you live in California, Connecticut, DC, Hawaii, Illinois, Massachusetts, or New Jersey, there may be a permit required to buy a rifle or shotgun. These permits often come with extra fees, may require a safety course, or approval of the local sheriff. After you present your permit, the dealer will give you the Form 4473. This two-page document asks for basic information about you and is a record of the firearm sale. After this is completed, the dealer will run a background check on you using the NICS system. The NICS system was created after the passage of the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act. The NICS system checks the National Crime Information Center, Interstate Identification Index, and the NICS Index. Basically, in short, these checks are just put in place to make sure that you're not a criminal trying to buy a weapon. Most checks are completed in minutes, but the FBI does reserve the right to have up to 3 days before it's forced to approve or deny your firearm sale. After being approved by the NICS in most states, you're able to take your firearm home after paying for it. However, in a couple of the states, mainly the ones that require a permit, there may be a delay in taking home your weapon. Now, let's say you're at the range, but you want to buy a handgun instead of a shotgun or rifle. This process is mostly the same, with a few exceptions. You must be 21 to buy a handgun. It is more likely that you will need a permit to purchase a handgun. In fact, there are quite a few states where this is necessary. And the states are as followed. All of the states that require a permit to purchase a rifle and shotgun, along with Iowa, Maryland, Michigan, Nebraska, New York, North Carolina, and Rhode Island, require you to have a permit to purchase a handgun. Along with the permit, you will also have to have 2 forms of ID. And there are a couple of states that will also hold your handgun for a couple of days after the purchase. And that's pretty much the whole process of buying a gun. However, firearm legislation is constantly changing on the federal, state, and municipality level. I hope this has provided you with increased knowledge of the subject and an idea of what to expect when buying a firearm. If you have found this helpful, please leave the video a like, subscribe, and check the box to receive notifications when new videos have been released. Thank you.